Hello, this is Linda DeNike, and I'm here with the ABC Challenge. So you might know me as a dancer or performer. You may also know me as an alignment specialist, whole body strengthening, um, alignment as in body and mind. Help a lot of people get their bodies up and running again. You might know me as a healer, a reader, energy worker, or teacher of all these things. And I brought this all together in my own business now, which is called Holistic Mind and Movement. So F is for foot. So feet. What do you think of when you think of your feet? Are you in touch with your feet? Yeah, they're connected to my ankles now. Do you think of foot problems? Do you think in terms of big feet or tiny feet? Maybe sore feet or stiff ankles and feet, stinky feet. How about skinny feet? So my uncle used to grab my feet and he'd slap the bottom of my foot and he'd call me fat feet when I was a little girl. And I had flat feet as well as fat feet. I had no arches, and he compared it to his daughter who had very narrow feet and high arches. So my cousin. Anyway, maybe you have falling arches. So you have a high arch and it's weakened, and that falling or a weakened foot falling arch. Maybe you get cramps in your feet. Do you pay attention to your feet at all other than when they're hurting? Do you actually pay attention to the function of your foot, or do you pick your foot up and actually rub it? What kind of attention do you give your feet? So our feet are what we stand on, and metaphysically, the meaning is, can you guess? Your understanding. So it represents our understanding of ourselves, our life, and of others. I have some questions. Oops, let's see here. I want to talk about the strength of your foot. So I feel like there's a big misnomer about feet. When feet get in a certain condition, go to the doctor, you get an arch support, $400 a pop or whatever. Or you seek out something of that nature to help you. And that's kind of the encouragement as well. So where are you with that? What I want to talk about is foot strength, as I said, and what kind of power do you have in your foot? Do you have enough power to rise up on your tippy toes and reach something in the top cupboard? Is your foot that strong? Or do you still have that? Did you have it once and lose it? Do you have enough power in your foot to get that little last bit to jump off the curb and over a puddle? Is your foot flexible enough still to articulate it from the ankle and move it through a retracted and a pointed position? So when these things leave the body, do you believe that they're retrievable again? So if you're finding that they're weakening, do you think you can get them back? What is your belief around that? Well, one thing kind of the mainstream belief is different than mine. And the reason being is I've created differences in my feet from them being very weakened. And I was very strong because I was a dancer. Danced on my toes and my toe shoes. I danced Highland, so that was all on half toe. And then as I aged and I wasn't dancing for a while, everything weakened. And there was very little strength. My feet always hurt. So my experience is I could rebuild the strength. First thing I want to ask you, or have you check out for yourself, is when you're standing up, and maybe you're standing up right now on your phone. When you're standing up, check out where is your weight over your foot. Is it over the balls of your feet, or do you walk kind of forward like so you're walking on the balls of your feet? Is it over the middle of your foot, your arches? Is it back into your heel? Where do you stand on your foot? So take a look at your foot in your mind's eye. The heel is a big bone. Okay, the heel directly connected, and you know the song, to the ankle bone, to the leg bone, up to the hips. Okay, that's a nice power line, standing on the heel. When you go to the front of the foot, there's many bones. And so the weight placed in the front of the foot causes this splay of the bones, especially if the foot is very weak or there's a lifelong habit of that. And you can see things like women's fashion. A heeled shoe will push weight forward into the balls. And you get things as bunions and such. So what I discovered when I began to strengthen my foot and stand on it differently, not only could I stand and form an arch, but I could debunion so that my toes kind of shaped differently. The ball of the foot was different. And so you can do this too. These capabilities are not out of your reach at this point. The other thing that's really important to understand is the body. All of the body has a job to do. Every part of your body has a job to do, and it works with other parts of your body. So if you're standing around and you're dead weighting into your feet, you're going to take that in your feet, your ankles, and your knees. But if the rest of the body is doing its job, if the upper torso is held in place or strengthened to be in place naturally, if your middle section is actually functioning, not collapsed and missing altogether, and if you're powerful from and through the hip area and from the floor to the hip, this is very important that the feet be activated to activate the chain of muscle all the way up into the hips. So all these parts work together, and when they work together, what you find is you're not going to take the stress and strain into your feet, and then of course your ankles and your knees. So that's my tip for you. Figure out how to do that, or at least transfer your weight. Stand over the big bone in your foot. Okay, that's it for today. We move next on to G, and I shall see you. Good day. Bye-bye.